Hey everyone, Activist Victor here. Today I'm going to overview a poker hand I just played on Betonline. So, here we go. I'm PainsCpcke, by the way. PainsCpcke, I will eat you. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's get on to this before you have too much time to ask me to explain the name. So anyways, Queen Jack from, I think it's the cutoff. I'm pretty sure it's the cutoff. Either way, right before the button, we get three callers before us. We have a fairly high suited connector. The suited connector part in and of itself is good, and the high part's great because if we hit top pair, it will be good a decent amount of the time. Not always, but a fair amount. So I decided, you know what, let's just see a flop. And I think that was the right play. I mean, raising really doesn't do a whole lot, and as you'll see, that was definitely not the right play at that time. And folding, I mean, this hand has too much playability. Are you really going to fold a suited connector like this in a multi-way pot? That's exactly what you want, is a multi-way pot with this type of hand. Because if you hit a big draw, you can win a big pot. Because someone's probably going to have something to pay you off with. So anyways, all the money's collected, and we don't really get a flush draw, but we do get something probably just as good, if not better. Top two pair. Very strong hand, almost certainly the best hand at the moment. Only lose to sets and stuff. So that being said, we get a check from Ubistank, and Perky Omen decides to bet 6. Roz calls the 6. They get a fold. And I'm thinking that maybe Roz is on some sort of draw, decide to raise. Now, I don't know if this was 100% the best play. Maybe I was going to shake the hands like Ace-Queen that I could have got more value from. But this isn't the least draw-heavy board I've ever seen. You know, there was obviously the diamond draw and the Queen-Jack. That's going to hit. I mean, if someone had like Ace-10, they have a gut shot. If someone had like 8-9, they have a gut shot. 9-10, King-10. And a lot of those are hands that they would play, you know. So I'm deciding, you know what, I want to make them pay. And, you know, if I end up shaking hands like Ace-Jack or Queen-Deuce, well, I probably wasn't going to win a huge pot anyway. So better to play it safe than sorry. So I raise, everyone folds up to the original raiser who decides to call my raise. Roz folds. And turn card's an 8. 10-9 just got there, but all else is pretty good. And then this guy decides, I'm going to donk into you. Now that wasn't really the best. I didn't like that a whole lot. I'm like, oh boy, did this guy just hit his straight? And I did consider maybe folding, but then I'm like, you know what? Sure, the guy could have the straight. But if he doesn't, you know, am I really going to fold top two pair on the thought that he might have a straight? He's never really going to bet anything weaker than this? Of course he is. So, of course, I have to call, and I decide to make my decision based on what to do based on his turn bet. Turn bet's a 6 of diamonds, and he decides to bet 25 cents again. Now, and then I decide, okay, you know what? It's the pot's $1.01. I might be beaten here, obviously, because a flush and a straight did get there. But I only need to make this call and have it be good 1 in 4 times in order to be right. And with top two pair, I think basically that's definitely going to be achieved. That hand is definitely going to be better than what this guy's got more than 1 in 4 times. I mean, after all, we beat hands like weaker two pairs. We beat hands like Ace-Queen. We beat over pairs. Not that he should have one of those. Hint, hint. So I decided to call. Oh, would you look at that? He did have an over pair. And he learns firsthand why you should probably raise these hands more often than not. So, nice pot, by the way. So that being said, I mean, again, he did limp from early position, and I know people do this to try to set traps, and it's not the worst play ever. But that being said, this was a fairly loose table that really didn't have a whole huge amount of pre-flop raising, and definitely not a whole lot of re-raising. So I don't know why you wouldn't just open up for a raise with pocket kings given this table dynamic as opposed to just check and try to set a trap. Because if you check call, I mean, you might pick up one extra barrel on the flop, which might work well, but if you call and back raise, you're basically going to get a fold 100% of the time unless someone actually has something really good, in which case you're probably going to get the money anyways. So basically, if I was this guy, I would raise. And that's because the table was loose. I'm probably going to get called by a few people, and I want to make them pay to see this flop and potentially flop something like ace with, you know, Ace-Queen or something that they're willing to put a lot of money in when they're way behind. So again, that's just my thoughts on the hand. I think I played it pretty well. Definitely shouldn't have folded there. And the results definitely speak for themselves. Well, you can't be results oriented, but still. I think I played it pretty well. I'd call, I didn't fold, and I didn't raise because I'm like, this guy might have me beat. And as it turns out, he did have a really good hand. So I was definitely right to be a little bit cautious. Just wasn't good enough. Well, in any case, Activist Victor here, signing off. And we'll bring you more poker hands later on.